So Yuji, how are you gonna explain this to all your classmates? You know, the kids back at home. How are we gonna do that? I don't. Yumiko for sure is gonna kill you. Little after 2 in the morning, I guess. Damn. Oh, so they'll probably all be asleep. Thank God. The witching hour, as they say. Come to think of it, try not to make a habit of rising out of the ground in the middle of the night. People might take you for a zombie.
本当だね。見つけてくれたのがユージでよかった。
You're lucky I didn't leave at any point. Indeed, Skaki would have probably pissed herself.
ねえ、やっぱりどうしても聞かせて。私が出てこなかったら、中で死んじゃったらどうするつもりだったの？
Guaranteed he probably would have starved and died with her. Well, the thing is, that box was a little special. The lid was made to break apart comparatively easily, and there was a small apparatus to keep a trickle of fresh air coming in. Also, as I think you've realized, I didn't bury you that deep.
だから、出ようと思えばいつでも出れたってこと？でもそうじゃなくて、私が出る意思がなかったら、このままもう死んでもいいって諦めて、何もしなかったら。
That wasn't gonna happen. Remember when I made you wake up by swallowing those candies? When you finally opened up to me about your real feelings?
覚えてる。暗い場所にいたのに、やり起こされた。それが何？
We could have made her overdose from the medicine. That wasn't the medicine you were using to suppress your other self. It was just candy. Oh my god, it was just the actual candy. What do you think, Magnus? You approve now that you know it's not medicine?
ただの？
That's right. It might have felt like I dragged you out of your shell, but the fact is you came out on your own. And you would have done that if you wouldn't have done that if you really wanted to die. These are just lumps of flavored sugar. Fucking Yuji, dude. I retrieved the plastic tube of ramune candies from my pocket and tossed a single lozenge into Michiru's mouth.
甘くて美味しい。私のこと騙したんだね。
And you're not really a tsundere. Granted, that was completely obvious from the start, but I think we were even on principle. Alright, there's the school. I think the first order of business is a nice long bath. These days, even real zombies are a little more hygienic than this.
もう、意地悪。
You're sweaty and gross and covered in dirt. What do you think? Oh, Jesus.
おかえりなさいませ。
Oh, Sachi already knew. She's already knows. Spotting us, Sachi stops brushing the sidewalk in front of the gate. Why are you doing this at 2 a.m.? And approaches with a beaming smile on her face. What on earth are you doing up at this hour, woman?
何って、お掃除ですよ。
Oh, we was waiting. You were waiting for us, weren't you? No, she was actually cleaning. So it would seem, but isn't it a little late for that?
いつ誰が帰ってきてもいいように、なるべく遅くまで働いているんです。特にここ数日は。っていうか、サチ、私を見て驚かないの？
Sachi already knew.
はい。でも私はミチル様が亡くなったなんて信じていませんでしたし、絶対に戻ってくるって思っていましたから。それよりも他の皆さんに見つからないようにしてくださいね。ミチル様どころか風見さんまで消えてしまったものだから、みんな大騒ぎなんですから。
Oh, we got a stealth mission engaged right now. Not entirely surprising, I suppose. How do things stand currently?
学園長さんが問題ないわよ、風見くんなんだからっておっしゃってました。
Oh, Chizuru.
私は納得しましたけど、榊さんや天音さんはずっと落ち着きがなく過ごしています。マキちゃんはシャドウ影踏みの練習で気を紛らわせていました。
Sorry for the trouble. Oh, I'll have to explain everything to you all later. Guess I'd better brace myself for a slap or 3 or a stab. You know, I've been stabbed before. I've even been shot. I got a lot of bad problems in my past. In fact, my arm might not even be my actual arm. Might even be a fucking prosthetic. You never know. I mean, my arm always gets shot off with a shotgun every route. Except this one, maybe. I mean, we're not even done with it yet. Yumiko's I didn't either. Did I get shot at in Yumiko's? I don't remember. I probably did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I get shot at a lot, don't I?
そうですね。ささ、お疲れでしょうから、お風呂へどうぞ。ちゃんとお掃除してありますからね。
Appreciate it. You really are a maid among maids, Sachi. Here you go. Still carrying Michiru, I turn to enter the premise, but before I could take a step, the girl shifts her position on my back and speaks.
ありがとう。私のこと待っててくれて。
Aw, that reached her heart.
いいえ、みちる様こそ戻ってきてくれてありがとうございました。うん、ただいま帰ったわよ。おかえりなさいませ、みちる様。あんたはもう寝ていいわよ。明日も早いんでしょ？ええ、そうですね。では失礼させていただきます。ここのところさすがに寝不足です。
Sachi, you've earned a good rest. You've earned something. Are you crying? I'd be crying too. I cried last time. You know. I see. Especially, by the way, especially afterwards when I actually got to read the letters after when I fucking figured out how to make it work. Barely. I was like tearing up so hard because I was like, oh. Sorry, guys. I couldn't give you the full experience. I can only give you a little bit. Well, you got all the letters, but, you know, they were talking and, you know, I don't know. I see. Making no further comment, I carry Michiru to the bathroom. You're filthy. I'll bring you a change of clothes so you focus on getting that dirt off you. Everything else can wait until after. You gotta, like, scrub it alone. What's wrong? Being alone too scary?
大丈夫。だってユージは絶対に迎えに来てくれるはずだもん。
I mean, I buried you. What you... Of course I'm going to. The girl smiles a little awkwardly as she speaks. I give her a quick pat on the head, then make my way down to her room to obtain a fresh change of clothes. Rummaging through her room. And then Hamine's like, what are you doing in a dead girl's room? That said, I don't know where anything is in here. These are the ones she's always wearing. That works. Already out of the bath? That was fast. I brought you a change of clothes. Thank God you're like that, so I don't have to censor nothing. Her body wrapped in a towel I left in the changing room. Michiru shuffles around shyly.
ねえ、ユージもお風呂入りなよ。
Oh, I'm gonna have to censor things. Not right now. I need to arrange for your medical checkup and...
いいから。だって、ユージだって同じ時間ずっと外にいたんでしょ？
It's true, but I'm not as, like... I mean, I was sweaty, but... I mean, I guess I'm dirty because I was carrying her on my back. That's right. Do I smell? Ooh, sorry.
そうじゃないけど、一休みしてってこと？
At Michiru's insistence, I consent to bathe. From the perspective of a freshly washed woman, I must seem exceptionally unsanitary at this point. Might have been a little inconsiderate on my part. Oh no, it's not the time for a leisurely soak. I opt for a quick shower. But just as I'm finishing up, Michiru comes in as well. Sure she does. And she's naked. She's probably, what? Oh, never mind. This is the sexy music, guys. Hello there. What is he, Obi-Wan? Felt like taking a bath in your clothes? Or maybe you forgot something.
そうじゃなくて、その
I want to do like an echoey, I could do like an echoey effect. Ooh, that'd be pretty sweet.
ユージにまた会えたことが嬉しくてだか
I understand that, but couldn't you wait 5 minutes for me to come out of the shower?
ら、そのいろいろなお礼も含めて背中を流してあげようかなって。
You know where backwashing gets you, right? You're a real handful. Alright, if we're gonna do this, do it quickly. Michiru rubs a bar of soap against a washcloth, slowly and carefully working up a nice lather.
失礼します。
You know, the girl proceeds to wash every nook and cranny on my back. Nice gesture, but for 5 straight minutes of scrubbing it, it starts to feel like she's overdoing it a little. Alright, that's good enough. You're like starting to peel skin.
ゴシゴシゴシゴシ。
She is still going. I told you that's good enough. Cut it out already.
やだ。やっぱり離れたくない。
Oh, that's okay. Finally abandoning her washcloth, Michiru leans against my back and wraps her arms around me. Must have been pretty lonely down there. I'm not going anywhere, Michiru.
わかってる。わかってるけど。ねえ、ごっこじゃない。キスして。
I turn around, take Michiru by the wrist, and draw her near me.
ユージ。して。
Instead of answering, I press my lips to hers. Woo! Michiru.
ユージ。
Every time Michiru's lips move against mine, I can feel my body grow a little hotter. Uh-oh. Something similar may be happening to Michiru, judging from the blush that spreads from her face to her ears, then all the way down to her neck.
ユージ、ありがとう。もう大丈夫。これ以上。
That's so. Thought you didn't want to let me go.
そうだけど、これ以上されたら私変な気分になっちゃうよ。
Maybe I want to get you in a weird mood. Ah! Sounds good to me. We're a couple, aren't we? What's the problem? Damn.
恋人なの？だってちゃんと返事してもらってないけど。
It's like, well, I just did right now. Are you serious? Doesn't that go without saying at this point?
そうかな。私わかんなかった。
As an abrupt surge of affection warms my chest, I once again bring my face to Michiru's. Michiru.
一緒に気持ちよくなりたい。
Well, I suppose this is something to do after what we just experienced. I ease myself onto the floor. A moment later, Michiru's straddling me on her hands and knees. A classic 69 position, is it? Before things progress any further, I reach out and give the nearest faucet a good twist. Oh.
何？
Oh, my good golly goodness. Why am I making her wet? She's still in her clothes. I mean, more wet than... Oh, jeez. Michiru's got a booty, though. And thighs. You guys didn't see it because I did a face zoom in, but... Again, Whole 9 yards in that bathroom. Whole 9 yards. I can't stand people who decide they've saved someone with a little kindness. Human beings exist within their own private bubble of solitude. Our pain and sadness can't be cured by gentle words. Offering gestures of sympathy can make you feel good about yourself. But for the recipient, it's meaningless at best. People don't need a crutch or a savior. They need to overcome their own suffering to find the strength to accept it. Oh, no. And when someone needs help getting to that point, I'm willing to lend a hand. Of course, that doesn't mean I go around offering my support to every sad sack I run into on the street. I'm not some hypocrite politician or cult leader. So what distinguishes the people I willingly assist from those I don't? Not sure if there's a clear criteria, really. Other than whim, sometimes I just feel like it. I know. Even when are we still in the bathtub? Or the bathtub? The bathroom now? I don't hear the bathroom. She wasn't echoing. Even when it comes to the young lady currently sleeping at my side, thoroughly pondering the reason why I helped her doesn't produce a convincing answer. But that's just the way human beings are. No matter how logically you analyze our motives, no matter how thoroughly you investigate the context of our actions, every once in a while you'll end up running smack dab into the incomprehensible. I can't comment on how meaningful this particular incident may or may not be, but I'm not unhappy with the way things turned out. In any case, the tricky part comes next. What do you mean? Oh, right. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be freaking the fuck out. If someone told me that my friend died, and I presumably saw them dead, and then they come back to life, I'd be freaking the fuck out. Yup, exactly. Exactly. What do you mean, zombie powder? Magna's is like, oh, hey, what's up? I guess you could come back from the dead. It's fine. Oh, Sakaki's gonna start stabbing. I'm waiting for her to show up. Yup, here it comes. She's gonna be relieved, and then I'm gonna get stabbed. It's gonna be great. Oh. Oh. She's. Oh. Can I hear that again? She just fucking died. What the shit are you talking about, Machina? These ones. Boom! I pinch Michiru's face and stretch out her cheeks to both sides. You still got the most pinchiest of cheeks, though. Why did you come back to life? No, I created a fake Michiru. That's not the fake Michiru that's living inside real Michiru right now. Machina trots over and begins poking at Michiru's chest like a housewife prodding a shrink-wrapped piece of produce. Hmm.
だよね。だったらさ、だったらいいじゃん。だったらすごくいいじゃん。悪くないじゃん。よかった。よかったのよさ。よかった。
Oh, come here. We all need a group hug at this point.
マキナ。
And then it all broke down from there.
ごめんね。もうどこにも行かないよ。約束してくれる？約束なのよ。約束できるよ。
Yay. Oh, Michiru and Machina link their little fingers together, watching as they swear their oath. Amane heaves a heavy sigh of surrender.
わかったわよ。確かに奇跡の復活で帰ってきた。それは良かった。これ以上喜ばしいことはない。だからもういいわよ。無理やりに納得するわよ。でも私にも約束しなさい。
And I would rather, and I don't want you to ask any questions.
どんな約束？それはもちろん、もう絶対に二度と死んだりしないって。
If you die, Mama Amane will kill you.
もう死なない。今度死んだりしたらぶっ殺すからね。
See, I knew she was gonna say that.
今度死んだらぶっ殺される。
It's literally a thing Amane would in fact say.
そうだね。それでいいね。もうどっと疲れたわよ。さっちゃんはこのこと知ってるの？
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she was the first one to know. We ran into her on the way back.
だったら教えてくれればいいのに。それであの子なんて言ってた？二人のこと見てさぞ驚いたんじゃないの？
No, actually.
ただ帰りなさいって。そっか、さっちゃんらしいといえばさっちゃんらしいか。松島さん、6枚の。
Right now. And she's same as it ever was. You'd better give them all proper apologies later.
由美子には悪いことしたわね。
And she'll never give her those 6 gifts. And so, Michiru returned to her friends and her school, freed of her dependence on medication and that bizarre tsundere act. She spends the rest of her school days as a normal girl. 6 pendants hanging on the wall of her room. Or penance. Sorry, not pendants. That's totally different. A little too neat a conclusion, unfortunately. Aw, come on. Honestly, Michiru's just managed to finally face up to one of her multiple problems, nothing more. I would have been okay if it ended right there.
ねえ、ユージ、これってここじゃないよね。
Calm the fuck down! No, I would have been okay. I've been like, it's like, what about fake Michiru? What about all these other things that haven't been resolved? I don't even care. Just, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that's right. This is a fully legitimate date. No fake, no pretend, no nothing.
なんで走るの？しかも5キロも。
Because you told me to plan the date and I decided on a little short distance sprinting. Listen, the act of running isn't just...
もういい。いいです。わかりました。ねえ、そうだね。私がね、言ったからだよね。
I mean, we shouldn't be letting Michiru run around like this, right? Like, wouldn't that, like, hurt? No, she got her heart replaced. Yeah, she's fine. Our light jog concluded. Michiru and I arrive at a certain high spot overlooking the sea, a place that holds many memories for us.
はあ。ねえ。最近私はずっと私でいられてる。
Yeah, you haven't turned into anyone since you came back. Something to celebrate, right? For some reason, it doesn't look like she's entirely convinced of that.
そうなんだけど。でもあの子はそれでいいのかな。
Oh, is that so? Did she actually go away after she disappeared in the coffin? What do you mean?
だってあの子は私の中にまだ存在してる。決して消えたわけじゃない。彼女はここでまだちゃんと生きてる。それなのに出てこないなんて。それで本当にこれっきりでいいのかな。
I reach out and wipe the sweat from Michiru's cheeks with a hand towel. We went over this before I buried you. I told the girl straight out that if you regained the courage to live, she probably wouldn't have the chance to come out again. And she told me that was alright with her. She understands that body belongs to you. There's nothing to feel guilty about.
もしかしたら全部私の幻覚だったのかもしれないけど、あの箱の中であの子とお話をしたの。その時に心残りがあるって言ってた。それすごく気になるよ。ねえユージ、直接彼女にそれを聞いてみてくれないかな。
About her regrets? Sure. Michiru, my friend, you've only just managed to regain control of yourself. Why go out of your way to...
分かってる。分かってるけど。私だけ幸せになんてなれないよ。彼女のこと最初は嫌いだったけど、本当に私のために行動してくれただけだってことが分かったから。それにこの心臓は彼女からもらったものでしょ。そのおかげでこうしてユージといられるんだし。
A bead of sweat dangling from the tip of her nose. Michiru stares up at me with a serious expression on her face. It takes an effort to keep a wry smile off my face. Even without the pseudo-tsundere act, this girl's still a real handful. But compared to forcing herself to act out some character, I suppose it's nice to see her honestly expressing her feelings. Alright, if you insist, I'll try calling that girl out. I do have a method in mind.
方法って？
Same one I used with your medicine. In other words, just a little manipulation of your assumptions.
New?
I set up a simple magic show in Michiru's room. The trick I have in mind, like most magic, amounts to a little more than a bit of psychological misdirection. It's physically impossible to produce a coin from nothingness, and of course you can't abruptly make one disappear either. Such illusions are made possible by manipulating your assumptions. A visual distraction leaves you convinced that the magician's carrying nothing, when in fact, he's just moving the something around where you can't see it. That's exactly how magic tricks are done, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Everyone knows the basic idea, but it's surprisingly hard to overcome your mind's tendency to fill the gaps and jump to conclusions. Deliberately planting the wrong idea into someone's head isn't as difficult as it might sound. As Michiru said, I don't think the girl's vanished. She's keeping to herself, that's all. I can't exactly reach in and grab her, so I'll have to trick her out.
それでその鏡がいるわけ？
The only prop is a full-length dressing mirror I had Sachi fetch for us. Didn't take long at all, so I'm guessing she borrowed it from someone's room. Okay, that's right. This is all we need to pull this off. Alright then, Michiru. Start looking at yourself in the mirror. Keep staring into your own pupils and don't even think about blinking. Understood? Okay. Now, stay like this for a few hours. Keep it up and she'll come out eventually. I'm sure of it.
何時間かってどれぐらい？そんなに大変なの？
Hope I'm gonna be with her for these few hours. You're the one who wanted us to make this happen. Can't even put in a little effort? God. Well, no skin off my nose if you want to quit.
やる。頑張るもん。
I'd be like, this is weird.
しんどい。
So how's this supposed to bring her out? Am I just not understanding? Okay, do it quietly.
はい。
Honestly, I don't have a clue whether staring into her own eyes is actually gonna wake up the other girl. Fucking. There's not really the point. That's not really the point of this little exercise, though. By physically and mentally wearing Michiru out, I'm hoping to get her drowsy, drowsy, half-conscious state where it'll be easier for her alternate self to appear. Oh, okay. My word should do the rest. Stay focused, Michiru. She'll come out any minute now, just a matter of time. I'm not really convinced of that, but I keep up a constant chorus of firm declarations to the contrary. In other words, I'm forcing the idea that she's definitely gonna wake up into Michiru's mind. Hopefully, my confident attitude will eventually lead her to the surface. Oh, all of a sudden, something changes in Michiru's face. It's a truly subtle transformation, but the cast of her eyes seems slightly different. There you are. Finally woke up, huh? We're close enough now that just talking like it's a done deal should finish things up. Michiru's unblocked the door, and now I pushed it open. The girl steps blinking into the light.
私はもういいから気にしないで。
Bingo. Knew I could pull this off, even though I didn't really know this would happen. Thought that was you. I'm happy to see you again.
私は嬉しくないよ。会いたくなかった。私はこのまま消えようとしてたの。この子の人生にもう私は必要ないんだから。
Now you're talking just the way Michiru was before. Aren't you supposed to have a little more sense than her?
でももう私は出てきちゃいけないの。
Michiru called you out of here of her own free will. There's nothing wrong with accepting that. Why hold back?
そんなこと言われても。
Alright then. I'll give you a simple question. What are your regrets?
心残り。
Okay. My regrets? Oh, deep inside Michiru, nestled into her heart, I sink into thought. Why did it turn out like this? Why do I exist inside her? Jesus Christ. On the way back from school, I was badly hurt in some kind of traffic accident. Until then, I'd lived a very normal life, I think. Normal, I guess so. Grades were pretty decent, although I wasn't an honor student. I did fight with my parents sometimes, even ran away from home for a day or two every once in a while. Apparently, I used to say some mysterious things when I was a little kid, but as I grew up, that stopped happening. There was someone I liked, although I'm not sure if it was a crush or just love. I never expressed those feelings. Didn't really feel the need to. Just watching him from a distance made me happy enough. Then, out of nowhere, that accident brought it all to an end. I don't know the details myself. I was just walking home after school one day when everything went black. When I came to, I was in the hospital. Oh. The sharp smell of antiseptic solution and an off-white ceiling greeted me. My mind was sluggish and fuzzy, but I was awake.
この子目を覚ました。起きたわ。
Mom. What was Mom doing here? What happened to me? My ears weren't quite working properly. I couldn't hear her voice that clearly. I wanted to ask all sorts of questions, but my voice didn't want to cooperate. Not just that, I couldn't move my body. What was going on? It almost felt like I'd been locked up inside a cramped little box. Perhaps a coffin, if you will. The doctor, who hurried into the room at the sound of Mom's voice, shone a penlight in my eyes for a while, then shook his head in silence. When she saw that, Mom started to cry. I didn't understand why she was sobbing so bitterly. I mean, I was perfectly conscious, so I thought I'd recover and be back to my normal life soon enough. But reality was very different from what I imagined. Day after day, Mom sat at my bedside and squeezed my hand. Weeks rolled past, but there wasn't any sign I'd be able to go home anytime soon.
大丈夫だよ。すぐに良くなるからね。心配することないよ。
This feels bad. Yeah, I thought so too. I felt fine, really. Good enough to leave the hospital right away. But even though I was really clear-headed, I still couldn't manage to move even the tip of my tongue. I didn't understand that at all. My mouth was numb and immobile. My throat felt dry sometimes, but I couldn't do anything about it. I wanted to tell Mom how I felt. If I couldn't speak, even moaning would be enough. But my body was completely switched off, quiet and still as a deserted school building in the middle of night. My classmates didn't come to visit. No, that's not entirely true. A few days after the accident, a group of girls I'd been friendly with did show up. But once they got a look at me lying there in my bed, they grimaced. They weren't too obvious about it in front of my mom, but I noticed a subtle change in their attitude. They kept their distance for the whole visit, and it wasn't long before they left. As they walked away, I could even see one of them mouthing the words, "Hope I never end up like that." After my classmates left, Mom gently stroked my head as if to reassure me that everything would be alright. I had no way of knowing what had happened to my body or the details of my condition, but from what the girls had said, I could tell it had been pretty bad. I guess Dad was busy with work since he only came to visit occasionally. Even so, I was always happy when he did show up. But when Dad looked at me, he always had a really scary look on his face. His eyes were empty, completely emotionless. He looked down at me with the face of a man debating whether to throw away an old can of herbicide from the back of his shed.
どうだ。何か変わりはあるか。いいえ、昨日と同じよ。ちゃんと呼吸してる。どうせ明日も同じなんだ。ここに来ても意味ないな。そんなこと言わないでください。この子もあなたが来てくれて喜んでるのよ。喜んでいる？
Dad peered down, studying my face. I really was glad to see him, but I didn't have any way of expressing that happiness.
どうだかな。俺のことが見えてるのかすらわからん。
I can see you just fine. I can hear your voice.
昨日と同じだ。まるで時が止まったみたいだ。
I love Dad, but I was starting to think he hated me. Dude, this dad sounds fucking terrible. Like every other dad in this fucking game. Maybe he used to love me, but hated me because of what I'd become? Not that I even knew what I looked like anymore, honestly. Once a week, Mom would wash my body with a wet cloth. I always loved soaking in the bath, so it wasn't really satisfying by comparison. But since she was doing everything for me now, I didn't exactly have the right to complain. Not that I could have if I wanted to. What really impressed me was the soap she used. It was always lightly fruit-scented. Mom knew that I had been secretly buying fruit soaps using my pocket money. She must have looked for them in my room and brought them to the hospital for me. My feelings about my parents began to change. Mom was nice, Dad was scary. One day they started quarreling over some trivial thing right next to me. It started when Mom said something about wanting to take family trips again. Dad got irritated and started shouting at her because all dads are
こい
dicks.
つがいる限りそんなことは無理だろう。こんな体でどこに行けるって言うんだ。
Literally like he doesn't give a shit.
昔みたいに遊園地に行けたらいいじゃない。この子好きだったでしょ。さあな、泣いてたことしか覚えてない。それに車椅子で連れて行くのか。遊園地に車椅子で来ている人はたくさんいるでしょ。だがこいつはもう意識がないんだ。いいか、この子は他の子供とは違うんだよ。もう一緒にどこかに行くことなんてできないんだ。
No more trips, huh? I didn't know that, Dad.
そんなことまだわからないでしょ。お医者様だって。医者がどうした。もう死んでるようなものなんだ。いいか、見てろ。
Wow. Dad strode over to my bedside, then violently smacked my cheeks with the palm of his hands. That's fucked up.
どうだ、生きてるか。生きてるなら返事しなさい。パパだぞ。ほら、パパだぞ。やめて、あなた。うるさい。こいつには聞こえてやしないんだ。何もわからずにずっとここで眠っているだけだ。ずっと俺たちを縛り付けてるだけだ。
Can this dad, like, die or something? Because he's...
そんな言い方やめて。うるさい。とにかく、もう変なこと言うのはよせ。気分が悪い。
I get it, everyone has a way of coping, but that's not even coping anymore. That's just him being a terrible fucking person. And he should in fact die in fire. Dad swung the door open violently and stalked out. Yeah, you get the fuck out of here. I wanted to tell him he was wrong. I could see everything. I could hear just fine. But it didn't hurt when he slapped me. And I couldn't cry. Even when my parents fought bitterly before my eyes.
ごめんね。痛かっただろう。もうあんなことはさせないからね。
Mom returned to my side and began to gently stroke my head.
パパはお仕事でイライラしてるだけよ。大丈夫。また3人でどこかに行こうね。
That's no excuse to slap your essentially vegetable daughter in the fucking face. Her tone of voice was tender, but even a child like me could understand those words were flimsy makeshift lies. They didn't take me to the toilet, but I wasn't wearing a diaper. Apparently, my body had changed past the need for such things. Oh. It's that bad, huh? Instead, a mess of plastic tubes constantly pumped things into and out of me. Sometimes a nurse would come and replace the tubing. It was agonizingly painful, like having my stomach cut open by a dull knife. But since I couldn't even scream or even shed a tear, they never even knew. I could see that Mom was getting thinner with every passing day. Wasn't surprising. From dawn until dusk, she was at my side, talking to my motionless body, reading me books as if I were a baby again. The doctors stopped by frequently at first, but their visits grew rarer as the weeks stretched into months. Eventually, they stopped coming entirely. A nurse would stop by maybe once a week, mainly for politeness' sake. I'd begun to understand that my life was essentially over. I'd come to the end myself. I didn't want to trouble Mom anymore, but there wasn't anything I could do to change the situation. This sucks, I tried to say. Naturally, the words didn't leave my mouth. I'm miserable. I tried to cry, but the tears wouldn't come either. One night, after Mom had gone home, Dad showed up by himself. He stood next to my bed with a steely look on his face. Uh-oh. I wanted to ask him what was wrong, but by now I'd stopped even trying to speak. He reached out and put a hand on one of the machines. Yup, I knew it. That pumped oxygen or whatever into my body. It could be shut off easily enough if he pressed a few buttons. Probably wouldn't take long for me to die. Dad looked down at me again, his harsh expression faltering. I could see unfathomably deep anguish in his eyes.
すまない。もう
I didn't have to think twice. Dad, you could turn that machine off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ended up like this. I'm sorry for becoming such a burden to you. Was it my fault? I don't really think so. But the how and why no longer really matter, do they? I'm a milestone around your neck. A millstone, rather. That's just a fact. So please, go ahead and kill me, Dad. There's nothing to forgive you for. This is what I want. Oh. But Dad just gave the machine a few light smacks, then turned on his heel and left the room. Why? Why didn't you kill me? I don't want to keep making everyone suffer like this. Please come back. Please kill me. When Mom came in the next day, her eyes were red. She stroked my hair for a long time in silence. Please, Mom, you could stop the machine. Just kill me. There's no point keeping me alive, is there? Hurry up and end this. Oh, Mom leaned in and kissed my cheek, but lost her balance and fell to the floor. After nursing me day in and day out for months, the accumulated fatigue must have finally overwhelmed her. I hear a loud thump of her body striking something hard. It looked as though she'd fallen in an awkward way, but the area under the bed was below my field of vision. I was frantic with worry. Had she struck her head? I wanted to scream for help, but that was just as impossible. It was beyond frustrating. It was torture. Pleasant, warm sunlight streamed in through the open window, and a gentle breeze stirred the curtains. I could hear the voices of laughing children outside. It was a very peaceful day, the sort that slips easily by before you even know it. And as for the minutes ticked tranquilly past, Mom lay on the floor of my hospital room. I couldn't see what had happened to her, but she wasn't moving. This can't be happening. Someone please, someone come, please hurry. Picturing myself thrashing around in the bed, I tried desperately to squeeze a sound, any sound, out of my mouth, but it was useless. I sat there still as a stone. More than an hour later, Dad finally arrived. His face a mask of shock. Dad scrambled to my bedside and picked Mom up with his arms. His face was wet with bright red blood. Whoa! Dad carried Mom out of the room, but before he left, he turned over his shoulder and shot me an angry look, as if blaming me for what had happened. But you're wrong, Dad. This wasn't my fault. I mean, none of this would have happened if you just killed me, would it? Damn. Following the incident, Dad took over the role of my caretaker. Yeah, just the person I want. He spent the days working on his laptop, never making eye contact with me. But after less than a week of this, a doctor came into my hospital room and began discussing something with Dad. There it is. Dad was clearly distressed, but after brooding for several minutes, he nodded silently. Accepting a pen from the doctor, he slowly signed a number of documents. That night, Dad came right up to my side and watched my face for a long time. Dad didn't take my hand or stroke my head. If this was going to be the last time, I wanted him to touch me, even for a moment. Thank you, Dad. Dad stayed by my side until morning. I was really happy. But the next day, an unfamiliar doctor came to my room. He gave me a number of injections, stripped me naked, and carefully inspected my body. Dad stood silently by and watched. Mom wasn't there. At the end, Dad looked down at me and said something, but I couldn't make out his words. Oh, I was loaded onto a stretcher and carried to an operating room. My heart was going to be taken out of my body to save someone else. It'd be a lie to say I had no regrets, but that didn't sound so terrible. A lot more appealing than just lying around helplessly and making Mom and Dad miserable, at least. No matter how badly I wanted to move, my body was still. No matter how much I wanted to speak, I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't want to exist like that. Well, you're not even gonna kill me first? That day in the operating room, I think I died once. Oh. I see. So then your heart was transplanted into Michiru's body. Is that when heart transplants happen, is the person still alive? If so, that's fucked up. I get it. Well, okay, no, I don't. If that's the case, do you need them alive to do the heart transplant? Because then your heart is still beating? Bruh. I don't.
そう。でもまさかあんなにはっきりと意識まで移るとは思わなかった。だから驚いた。私はいつも暗闇の世界にいた。だけど、ミチルに嫌なことが起こると、ステージにスポットライトが当たるように私に光が差すの。その光を手繰り寄せると、私は彼女の体を動かせることが分かった。彼女の体を動かせると知ったとき、正直これはしてはいけないことだって思った。だってこれは彼女の体だから。もしそれが可能だとしても、知らないふりをしてずっと暗闇で眠っていなければいけないんだって。だけど長い間ずっとベッドで動けなかった私にとって、指を動かす、声を出す、視線をどこかに向けるという行為は快感とも言えるものだった。体を自由に動かすことがこんなにも素晴らしいことだなんてわからなかったと思う。
Not surprising that you feel that way. But the body you were moving wasn't actually yours. Someone upstairs has a nasty sense of humor.
ミチルは子供の頃に悲しいことがあってから心を閉ざしているみたいだった。だから私は何か手伝えないかなって思って。それで彼女が辛い時は代わりに表に出ていろいろなことをした。彼女の人生がうまくいくようにって必死で頑張った。でも正直に言えば単純に動けることが嬉しかっただけかもしれない。本当にミチルのことを思えばあんなことをしちゃいけなかったのよ。大きなお世話だった。余計に彼女を傷つけて悩ませてしまっていたものね。
Not intentionally, and you did everything you could to ease that pain. Michiru's suffering hurt you too.
そうよ。言ったでしょ。私は悪者なんかじゃないのよ。純粋にミチルを助けたかっただけ。
Well, she wants to return the favor. So let's talk about these regrets of yours. By which I mean, what do you want to do?
心残り。何でも願いが叶うとしたら、ママとパパに会いたいかな。
Dude, that'd be crazy. Like the daughter you lost so long ago, then comes back in another person's body. Oh my god. Your parents, huh?
何か一つだけって言うなら、ママとパパ。それで、会ってどうするわけじゃないけど、顔が見たい。
I see. So that's your wish, is it?
でもそんなの無理に決まってる。私の住んでいた場所は日本じゃない。ここから遠すぎる。それにこの姿であったとしても私だってわからないでしょ。
You have to understand anything's possible with Kazami Yuji, Occupation Student Mark II. I reach out and squeeze the girl's hand tightly. I can't return you to your original form, but I can take you to your parents. If that's what you want, I'll help make it happen. After all, that's what Michiru wants as well.
だって私が住んでいたのは日本じゃないんだよ。
I'm rich. I can go wherever I want. What about it? Is that supposed to be a problem? The only issue I see here is you're waffling. We don't have to do this if you don't want to, alright? You might regret it later, but it's your choice to make. So, what'll it be?
どうするって。
You've already made up your mind, haven't you? And you know you have. I'll give you 2 seconds to answer. This is your only chance. Ready?
え？行く。
I hadn't even started counting, but whatever.
ユージ君、私をママとパパのところに連れて行って顔が見たい。それだけでいいから。
She just goes to her dad and is like, you slapped me! Wham! Understood. Stand by here for like 5 minutes.
ちょっと待って。だって5分ってどうするの？
Don't worry, I can arrange a free flight and everything as long, you know.
行っちゃった。
dot 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 dot.
でも無理だよね。だって私。風見くんってば何を考えているのかしら。私だけならともかくハルデラさんまで巻き込むなんて。あなたは学園長？そうよ、話は聞きました。ああ、もうあんな言い方されたら私が断れないこと知ってて、なんてやつなのかしら。まさかあの弱みをついてくるなんて絶対に許さない。
Oh.
どういうことでしょう。
Okay.
ああ、ごめんなさい。いいから出発の準備をしなさい。と言っても靴だけ履き替えればいいわよ。
Shit, we're leaving right now? Jesus Christ, we work fast.
パスポートも着替えも必要ないわ。観光じゃないならツアーガイドも必要ないでしょ。でも
It's like,
遊園地にも行きたいなら今回は我慢してね。そこまで楽しめるプランは組めないわ。
ちょ
っと許可は出したけど校庭に着陸させることないでしょ。そこの課題今が先々なのに。
God damn it, Blizzard.
飛行機？
We just landed an airplane right on the lawn. Sorry to keep you waiting. Good thing we happen to have someone flying around nearby. How'd I do? Was that 5 minutes? With a wink at Chizuru, I drag Michiru out of her room. Oh, I can take care of you. Wink. Yeah, I'll take full responsibility where I can at least. We'll go 50-50 on the rest. She's adorable when she's like frustrated.
ねえ、これはどういうこと？校庭に飛行機が来るなんて。
It's our ride. We're gonna go see your parents. Like right now.
今から？
Oh man, the fucking coughing dude when I get excited. Yes, right now. Once the decision's made, why put it off? You agreed to this yourself, remember?
でも
Before the girl can continue her sputtering objections, I cover her eyes with my hand. Just trust me, alright? America's not so far as all that. Thinking back, once we're there, it'll feel like we only left 3 seconds ago. Allow me to demonstrate. 3, 2, 1. What? Of course it's got the fucking, like a little yokel tune, because we're fucking America and we're all rednecks over here. We like guns and bacon, and we like killing people. And what else do we Americans like? We like we like I couldn't think of anything else. All I know is we like bacon and guns. Does that pretty much cover it? I think that covers it, man.